all. So I know that we have learned our long formulas to calculate expected value and variance for our random variable distributions. I do want to show you how you can do this on the TI-84 calculator. So we're going to get right into it. Hopefully you have your calculator handy. This will be very useful for your 4.7 activity. So we're going to start by going into Stat. We've gone here before, and we hit Enter going into Edit. And this is where we have our lists. Now we are doing an activity on we've given out hourly wages, and then we're calculating the probability of each and changing those wages in some different ways. And so these are some probabilities of the wages that you can use. I did set it up so we could, gather it from our class, but if you're missing class and doing this from home, you can definitely use these wages. So I have in list, it says list 2 for me, so I did make a boo-boo and accidentally delete my list 1, but if you put it into list 1, you'll just reference list 1 in your calculator. So really all that matters is that we reference the correct list where our data is. So in list 2, I've gone and put all of my wages, so $1 an hour, 5, 7, 10, 15, and 25. And then in the list next to it, I have put the probability of getting each of those wages. Now, the way I would calculate that is get all of the class wages, how many people are in the class, count up how many people got $1, $5, $7, etc., and divide. So I have this for my data set that I'm using. Probability of getting $1 an hour was 7.7%, and so on. You can see that in the table. So these are the frequencies, the percentages. So now I should have my list set up with my data in there. You're going to change this throughout the activity, changing these wages here. The probabilities will stay the same. And so now I'm going to go into Calculate. So I'm going to go back to Stat again. I'm going to arrow over to Calc. And although it might seem like I used 2 lists, this is a 1 variable stat. I just have wages, that 1 random variable. So I'm going to go into 1 variable stats. And we really didn't use this frequency list part, but we are now. So what should go into the list part is where you have your hourly wages, which mine was list 2. And then what I should put in my frequency list is where I put the probabilities. Now, if you have different lists than me, you can see all the list numbers above the regular numbers on the calculator, L1, L2, L3. All you have to do to access those is push the second blue button. So once I have the correct listen, I hit Enter, and I get my 1 variable stats. So my standard deviation is going to be right here, and so my standard deviation for this set is 5.75. You can kind of poke around and you might notice some other values that are needed in here, but I know this standard deviation one is the longest because we go through variation first and then to standard deviation, so I've shortened up the process for you in using the calculator. Hope this helps.